I don't enjoy having to come back on the microphone tonight. By the way, this is the Wrestling is Real podcast. Here to recap the 2023 WWE Survivor Series War Games, which we're not going to talk much about that. Okay? We're not. Just for what? CM Punk's back. He made it back. They did the whole deal with the credits, thought everything was done, and for about a good minute, the crowd goes wild. The fandom, that is the fans of the WWE bubble, going gaga, because we haven't seen CM Punk in 3 months. We saw him in the same fucking city 3 months ago. Am I correct? Is that right? All in Chicago. 3 months ago, we already saw him. He came back. Am I forgetting? August 2021. We had him for 2 years. And he decided to go ahead and not play nice with others twice. A fucking cancer. This guy, because this audience, okay, the fans out there, for those of you that are happy as pigs in shit to see CM Punk back in WWE after everything that happened. Listen, it's on CM Punk. He took the money. He took another, I don't know if he took another contract or what, but he, on his own, negates everything he said in November 2014, 9 years ago, on the Art of Wrestling podcast with Colt Cabana. Negates all that shit. We're going to run back that a little bit. I'm not going to go ahead and, go back and relitigate this bullshit. And I already did that before. And I got a clip already coming from 2014 to go ahead and just make my point. But fuck, man. What is it with you fans that want to see this guy back? Why do you make such an outcry to see this guy back? Because you do this shit while AEW, you hate them, okay? You despise them because that's the fandom that you are, in the bubble that you are. It doesn't matter unless they're in WWE. And for the fact that the fans also don't shit on CM Punk because he went to AEW first after 7 years and goes over there. And then what? Then he goes back out and, they let him back in. And by the way, it's like a bad football team decided to bring a guy who had a lot of discipline problems, was just a bad actor in the locker room, probably got arrested a couple of times or something like that. Like, it's a kind of thing where you're just bringing somebody that's just cancerous. It's like the Buccaneers bringing Antonio Brown in for Tom Brady, okay? Or Randy Moss joining the New England Patriots. Or, like, seriously. What is it about him that comes back? Listen, I get it. Yeah, for business, I get they're going to make something good out of him. And they're obviously in a dire need right now of star power. But this is a testament that CM Punk has to come back. And Randy Orton coming back, by the way, great for him. I'm glad to see him back. I would have been fine if Randy Orton was the only thing we actually talked about in the Survivor Series, but no. We get this shit. You think it's going to pop a rating? What is this? The Monday Night Wars all over again? You're not competing with AEW. Stop it. Stop it, WWE. What is wrong with you? Punching down. You're not even going into your own recycle bin. You're now going into AEW's recycle bin. Okay? AEW fired him. Tony Khan let him go. Paid off his contract. Good riddance. He split up the damn locker room. And for the last part of his run at AEW, he was on Collision to build that show up because he couldn't play nice with others. Does anybody understand what we're getting into here? What the precedent is on this? Because the way I look at it, I'm not blaming CM Punk. I'm not blaming CM Punk. I blame WWE. It's the company. The Triple H, I thought you didn't like this guy. I thought you really just had an animus with him. Yeah, Vince was the one that apologized. Sure. Do I want to kind of give benefit of the doubt? Oh, CM Punk, the way he was treated over there. Okay, he's older now, a little bit wiser. Bygones be bygones. You want me to go into that? You want me to feel like, feel warm and fuzzy, he's back? No. You're getting a broken down CM Punk. By the way, part of his run at AEW, he was hurt. He's fragile. You're not getting the CM Punk that was, how old was he? In his mid-30s, in his prime. All right, you had a bunch of more years if you would have just kept this guy in check. And you would have taken care of him. If he needs some time off, give him some time off. But no, Vince had to go and run people to the ground 300 days a year. So what are we going to get now? What happens now? 3 months gone. The rest of the wrestling world that is not all laden and overexcited with WWE, we don't care. We saw him. We had his run. It was fine. What are you going to get out of him now? Okay, let me give you a little quick scenario. Quick little scenario. Okay. So what, do we throw CM Punk against Roman Reigns for the Universal title? Yeah, that's an opponent. Sure. CM Punk, Roman Reigns. Yeah. CM Punk against the Bloodline? Sure. You want to make that a WrestleMania match? Go right ahead. After that, what do you got? What do you got after that? Because CM Punk's not winning the title over Roman Reigns. I'll put a bet on it. CM Punk is not beating Roman Reigns. Absolutely not. End of discussion. So what do you do now? What, CM Punk against who? Like, I don't know. JD McDonough? Grayson Waller? LA Knight? Who's the big star that's going to get a rub off of here? Listen, for what it was worth, CM Punk working with MJF and Darby Allin, that shit meant more to those people in that company than it did coming back to WWE, because WWE is not worried about young talent. What's your new reason now, CM Punk, for coming back to the company? What are you going to do to spin on this? Hey, that first promo is going to be a doozy. You're going to have to go ahead and eat your words after everything you said before. Everything you said before. Let me just take what we had gotten before. Remember, he broke his silence when he got his exit. Company executives gave him a runaround when he reached out to them for unpaid royalties and was ultimately handed his termination papers and fired by the company on his wedding day, June 2014. Do we need to remind you again? When he married AJ Mendez, wedding day, June 2014, they send him his walking papers. We're going to forgive that? What about the MRSA infection? When he went on the stand suing WWE, right? His health. That he was working through an untreated and potentially fatal MRSA infection. Also had broken ribs, injured knees, multiple concussions, including one of the 2014 Royal Rumble. And they were pressuring and rushing him to wrestle before fully recovering. Are we going to just wipe the slate clean? You got screwed over. You got embarrassed. You got railroaded. The company neglected you. They treated you like shit by throwing your release papers on your fucking wedding day. Are we going to forget about that? Was all that shit you said to Colt Cabana bullshit? Are you really going to be that forgiving of this company? What kind of number did they give you on a contract to make you sign? What the hell did they do? Listen, thank you, AEW, for letting this guy have a chance to come on back and have his run. Okay, a swan song. Good. Goodbye. Goodbye. We don't need you now. Goodbye. Vince goes on the Steve Austin show a week later and apologizes to Punk for the manner of his termination. An unfortunate coincidence due to a lack of communication within the company. Now, Vince said he was open to working with Punk again. Got it. And then Punk responded back and saying it was insincere and a publicity stunt because McMahon didn't contact him directly to apologize. He could have apologized much earlier. We're going to let that slide. All of that 9 years later. I mean, I got the wrestling trope. Yeah, never say never. No shit. But damn, man, this shit right here, it boggles the mind. I can't even make sense of it. CM Punk's return overshadows everything that happened at Survivor Series. Survivor Series was a non-factor. I repeat, a non-factor. I could give two shits about the fact that we saw the matches go through in War Games, and that the faces both win their collective War Games matches. Oh, were there spots in the match? Sure. Was it well done? Yeah, okay, fine. Gunther beats The Miz by submission. Santos Escobar beats Dragon Lee. Anyways. And Rhea Ripley makes quick work of Zoe Stark. Nothing else to talk about on Survivor Series except the last 2 minutes of the show. And I would have been fine if we talked about Randy Orton and say, oh, okay, this is going to be a good contribution now. Get him back for WrestleMania time. Get him in the whole mixture. You know, because I didn't think they really, I mean, I get what they did. Listen, for him to go and work with Riddle like he did and did just fine, that was good. And basically when CM Punk, when Randy Orton gets injured, then Riddle just kind of goes on his own and just goes and self-destructs. And now he's not even anywhere. So we get this back here. Now, for the business side, the company, it doesn't really matter. Like, listen, part of the business model is the fact that he was basically homegrown. I mean, enough to the point where he went to the developmental, right? 2005, he was with Ohio Valley. He's part of that whole group that came out with John Cena, Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton, right? All of those. Batista, all of them. Got it. So he comes on back here. Did have a great run in the company from 2008-2014. 6-year run. 3 World Heavyweight titles. 2 WWE Championships. The Tag Team titles. And more. June 27th, 2011. The Pipe Bomb. Still one of the most memorable things we've ever heard. And listen, even when I first started the damn show, I played part of the Pipe Bomb in my intro. But it doesn't distinguish the fact. There's no excuses here on either side. There's no reason for this. There is nothing that WWE is going to get out of CM Punk to make me feel like, oh, well, this was such a good move. This company does not need to keep bringing people back from the recycle bin. They need to be building some fucking stars. Damn it, get some people that can go after Roman Reigns. People that can match up against Seth Rollins. You can't do much with stars that might have been in the NXT black and white, but then got muddled and ruined in the opinion of the fans out there because of what Vince did. All right. If Vince fucked them up, then you got to throw them away and go on with somebody else. Alpha Academy. Okay. Nice little mid-card tag team. Shinsuke Nakamura. Yeah. Nice mid-carder to bring up into the main event once in a while, but nothing more. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. Hey, thank goodness they are where they're at. But you know what? They're not going to move much farther up the card anymore. They're not going to be champions again. Sami Zayn, if you thought he was going to be a champion, well, we had that chance. That's gone now. But who else do you have as the future of the company? Austin Theory. So far, He's doing okay. Dominic Mysterio, he's doing okay. That's not enough. They need a whole lot more. They need some pillars to hold the foundation of this company to go on for a longer time. And I don't see Triple H doing anything to build any of the stars he has right now in the NXT brand to really do that. Really, what was the legacy of the NXT brand that's not legacy wrestlers that came from Ring of Honor or somewhere else? Right? Samoa Joe, Undisputed Era. What else? I mean, think about that. Of the 2019 black and white era that's there. I mean, can you give me any names? Think about that. Because I can't really think of anything at all myself to make me feel like we're going to get somewhere and say, okay, we have an answer here. Because I don't. It's funny, I go back to 2019 and I talk about the roster, right? And I say to myself, I look at it again and I'm like, it's the same over again, always. And I try to think back to what we had back then to try to build up with. And I'm saying to myself, well, who was there? Like, what are we getting back to really build up going forward? I don't know. But it is interesting that Survivor Series, we're back to the same thing again. Remember? When all those stars came over. We go back to that. 4 years ago, remember? We had the 15-man 3-way elimination match, remember? And the stars we had at that time, Tommaso Ciampa, who was captain, Damian Priest, Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, Walter, now Gunther. It was that, right? And then we had what? The NXT side, the stars they put up there in the Survivor Series for that year. You had Rhea Ripley, Toni Storm, Mia Yim, Candice LeRae, Tegan Nox. That's 4 years ago. The 2019 Survivor Series, before we went to the War Games. So Rhea Ripley has absolutely succeeded above and beyond. She is a star. Okay, they put her in a featured match. She wasn't part of the Survivor Series War Games match. Exactly. She's on her own. She's got Judgment Day. She's all set. Toni Storm, she's excelling now in AEW. She's now their women's world champion. She's got a gimmick that's working. That's getting over. Great. Mia Yim, we haven't seen her since the whole OC thing. Where is that at? Candice LeRae, Tegan Nox, non-factors. They gave him a chance on the main roster. Nothing. Fizzled out. And like I said, you go to that other spot here, okay, Tommaso Ciampa, he's back, but in a very limited role. Not much importance at all. Damian Priest, he's Judgment Day. Great. Gunther, IC champion. Absolutely. So 2 out of 5 isn't bad. Keith Lee, not even there. He's in AEW. Matt Riddles, let him go. And by the way, Damian Priest, 40 years old. Okay. It's interesting how much closer to getting to the Punishment Martinez gimmick once again, because I have to call him Punisher now as he comes on out. But there are no other stars they have within to really build up. I mean, back in 2019, look, the stars you had on the Survivor Series roster, Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, Ricochet, not much difference. The SmackDown side, you had Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, King Corbin, Mustafa Ali, and Shorty G. They had stars that were in that mix, right, to build up. Mustafa Ali, nothing. Shorty G, Alpha Academy, as Chad Gable again. Back to an original role. So Triple H gives him Chad Gable again. Oh, that's nice. But he's still in a tag team that hasn't won a title at all. Nothing. Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton have been stars, have been in the main roster for a long time. So no one else is being built up into that main roster or into that discussion to be in that circle. No Killer Cross, Carry On Cross, nothing. And so the company likes to do what they always do. They go back to their legends, go back to their stars they can bring back. to the desperation of bringing back CM Punk, of bringing him back when there's so much bad blood. So we're going to go ahead and let hell freeze over just to do this again? What plans do you have for CM Punk? They're going to be such a good idea. Listen, I can't go on with this all night. I could rant for an hour, but why? I'm going to wait. They'll have him on Raw, I'm pretty sure. Okay, let's just do that. Put him on Raw Monday night. Let him talk. Let me have him have his piece. He can explain himself. He can explain to everything here. Listen, I'd rather, listen, if you give me CM Punk for 60 minutes, 8 to 9 o'clock, I'll sit in and watch. Better than anything else you're going to put on in the first hour. So let him out there. Hit Cult of Personality. Let that go for 5 minutes. Then he gets in the ring. Let him sit down, Indian style, middle of the ring, and let him talk. Iron everything out the last 9 years. Please. Please do. Otherwise, I can't deal with this. I just don't. I just don't get this. And the fans, I don't understand why you fucking want this shit. You want this. You fans in Chicago, you want this. These fans in this fucking bubble, you want this guy back. Because you are a short attention span. All you think is the here and now, nothing about the future. You could care less. Which is why that analogy is some of my fellow podcast brethren like to use. Oh, the major leagues and, the Yankees. Well, where do the Yankees go this year? Huh? You get those stars. Oh, we're going to get big stars, free agents. Oh, we're going to go ahead and be in the championship. No. It's not how you build a roster. That's not how you build a winning team. This company's resting on the laurels at the end of the year. Same as always. Hey, are they going to regenerate and, gin back up the interest for WrestleMania? Absolutely. But it's not going to be CM Punk that will do it. So see, he's going to be back, not injured, limited role, sure. Okay, what else is he going to do? Oh, yeah, do I want to mention Backstage he was on for like a year, right? That show on Fox Sports 1 I never watched. Anyways, I want to go back and play a clip. This is me, December 3rd, 2014. This is not a show I have as marked as an episode number because, by the way, this is so far back. I think Jeremy G was on with me at this time. I still had a co-host. This is how old this clip is. But this is my comments of CM Punk at that time. And I'm pretty sure Jeremy's in this, so I'll play this back for you. Let you listen to it for yourself, because even then, I'm like confused here, because my animus towards CM Punk has not wavered. On this program, for as long as CM Punk decided to leave after Royal Rumble, mid-January, I made it a choice personally just not to talk about it. I mean, nothing against him. It was just a matter of he left. And what are we supposed to say about that? Yeah, okay, he, nigged on his contract. Didn't fulfill it. Okay. And so what else happens after that? We wanted to see if he was going to come back. But I didn't want to go into speculation, trying to ask myself, well, when is he going to come back? What does this mean? Because it was just a matter of, if he left, he's got a reason for leaving. So I'd rather find out what it is before going to jump into conclusions. So, I mean, I've chosen for the last, 9 months, or it's been 11 months here, not to bring him up. I mean, it's just because, on this show, we just don't talk about, if the people are not involved in the business, and, I don't look at the past, I don't look at, how certain wrestlers are, but you know what? I mean, what I will say is that, look, I've always had a respect for CM Punk, because I think his opinion, for the most part, is pretty much on par with where I'm at. I agree with quite a bit with what he says when he's been on interviews and what he thinks about the business. He's not that far off. Now, there's some things I will disagree on, and that's just going to be that way. But I wrote extensively on the blog this week about it, and I made some mentions about what I thought, but there's just so much more to it that I feel like I can relate to about the story.
and how I can really justify all of his reasons from about 95% of what he said on that show. And then for Vince's sake, what he said on the Stone Cold podcast.
Okay. But I still go down to the fact that we're here and, you know, I didn't care about talking about it then because it's like, I was one of those people that wanted to get caught up in that bullshit. Why? For what? And once again, rearing their ugly head back is this shit. I'm so fucking tired of it. I don't want to care anymore. I really don't. I mean, I wish I had a better answer for all this shit, but I don't. I'm so tired of this shit. I'm so tired of it. It's so annoying. I never asked for this. But where you have it now, once again, there's just not even a choice. It's just, now we're, this shit. We're back to this again. That bothers me. Hell, I even did a blog back then. Man, I was very ambitious at that time, wasn't I? Huh. But as far as I'm concerned, I did, that's right, I did this story. Oh my goodness, how about this? December 1st, 2014. I did, where was this at? Okay. I forgot about this. My letter to CM Punk from King of Podcasts. I don't remember what I wrote, but I need to find that again. Here we go. Oh, I got it. I got it. Here we go. So I wrote, Dear Phil, thanks for all the great matches and memories. You were absolutely right about the state of the WWE, and I agree with you on how the business is being run. Hell, it's the underlying opinion of my podcast. It has been time to give the young and ready guys to have their shot at the main event. It truly sucks that WWE did not value what you brought to the promotion, nor did they really value you as a sports entertainment, fiscally or philosophically. Although we will not likely have you in a wrestling ring, I hope you will continue to have a voice somewhere. I wrote that to him. Yeah. I even put it on station letterhead. I'm just, come on. Look, the bottom line is, this shit right here is the underlying factor, once again, as always, why this just pisses me off all the time. That this company and the fans are the reason for it. You stoke the flames for CM Punk, wishing he could come back. And because when WWE gets desperate and the shit they're doing isn't working, Triple H, they pull this off. I'm going to reserve my comments. I'm expecting him to be on Raw Monday night. I mean, there's no thing, you just can't do something else to start off Raw Monday night after Survivor Series unless you get to that. As far as I know, am I right? Are they running Chicago tomorrow night? Are they running Chicago tomorrow night? Or to me, are they going to be running it on the 27th? No, it's actually in Nashville, Tennessee. Okay. But are we going to just do that? Are we just going to finally just say, okay, you know what? Let's just go ahead and bring that back. Like, don't tell me tag team turmoil is going to be the reason for people going to want to watch. Okay, come on. Tag team turmoil match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships, the Contenders. You think that's going to be the big thing that's going to come out? No. It's CM Punk. Oh, Bronson Reed's Ivar? Really? Ooh. No, CM Punk will overshadow everything. You put him on first. Let's get an explanation out of him. And after that, we'll figure it out from there. I'm not talking anymore about this. I'm done. I'm done. So I just played back a 2014 clip, which kind of just resonates the same way where it is now. And that's it. So, fine. We'll leave it there. That's the show for tonight. I thought I was going to be doing some best of stuff, but we're going to CM Punk talking about on Wednesday night on the next Wrestling is Real podcast because wrestling needs us.